All right, Planet Hollywood, Las Vegas. This is another Caesars property, perhaps the coolest Caesars property. This is the ex-Aladdin Hotel. It was rebranded into Planet Hollywood in 2007. It's got an Art Deco Hollywood hip theme, 2 amazing restaurants, 2 amazing pools, and overall just a really trendy vibe. This is Coolest Luxury Hotels, Planet Hollywood, Las Vegas. All right, Planet Hollywood, here we are. I'm inside my room. This is an Ultra Resort King. I'm gonna do a very brief rundown of this room very quickly. I'll make an extended video if you want an in-depth, detailed analysis, but I'm gonna do this room tour. I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna drink. I have an amazing view of this pool. We're gonna play a little bit of high-stakes slots. There's a lot to get into in this video, so let's check out this room very quickly. All right, let's get this room tour started. Let's get this trip started. Here's the main room right here. It has epic views of the entire pool area. You can keep your eye on all the action. And plus, the views of the Bellagio fountain are amazing. I'll show you that in just a second. But let's start with the bathroom. It's the first thing we encounter as we enter the room. As we walk in, the main focus of the room is the deep, large soaking tub with the tiled artwork. That is really cool. And as we flip around, we have opposing vanities, which offer a ton of space. If you want to have multiple people in here, this is a perfect setup for that. Moving out of the bathroom, little closet right here, and then here is the main room. You have a really elongated desk if you want to get some work done or just store your stuff like I did. Little mini fridge in here. No mini bar, but mini fridge. There's a lot of space in here if you want to unpack your suitcases or if you have a ton of luggage. This place would easily accommodate that. There's a sofa chase over there. We'll check that out in a second. Here is the bed. We're going to jump on that momentarily. I like the artwork on the wall. Before I do that, let's check out this view. You have views into both pools and they are pretty hopping right now. So there's the south pool, there's the north pool. One is more bungalow based, the other one is more swimming based, as you can see. I want to check out this chase because I want to know if it's sleepable. You know, the age-old question in Vegas is how many people can you sleep in a room? This could get the job done if you had to. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you had someone who's pretty flexible, you could easily sleep a night or two on that. Last but not least, let's check out this bed. Wow, this is really nice. This might be better than the Paris bed. It might be the same bed, but it could be a little different because they are owned by the same parent company, Caesars, but that bed is awesome. I'm looking forward to a good night's sleep on that. So that is it for a very quick initial room rundown. I'm famished. I think I'm gonna head to Cafe Hollywood and get a late lunch. These gluten-free bites, dark chocolate coconut, amazing. Okay, good morning. This is a bathroom update, quite literally. And no, we're not going to talk about the bathroom. I just happen to be in the bathroom because this is the room that has the best light. As I mentioned before, the lighting in the other room was atrocious. So we're doing an update in the bathroom today. I think this is the first time. First time for everything, I guess. All right, so I'm gonna talk about what I'm gonna do right now. But before I do that, I wanna quickly talk about yesterday. I had a really late lunch. I didn't get into my room until 4:30. Check-in time here at Planet Hollywood is 4 p.m., which is crazy. I remember back in the day, it used to be 1, then it moved to 2, then 3, and now it's 4. 4 p.m. check-in time is ludicrous, to be quite frank, because if they're behind like they were yesterday, you don't get into your room until 4:35. So that means I had a really late lunch, early dinner, no matter how you want to look at it. Went to Cafe Hollywood. It was a really cool place, like literally quintessential cool. Pictures of celebrities everywhere. I liked the way it was laid out. They had an all-day breakfast, which I didn't know about till halfway through my meal. If I would have known about it, I certainly would not have ordered the 5-layer dip. That was not a good call at 5 p.m. And I also had an ahi salad. Both of those dishes were just mediocre. I did have like a blueberry mojito or something like that, and that was probably the best part of the overall meal. So after that, I kind of meandered around the casino, took some great shots. This place is ultra cool. I'll talk more about that later. But since I had some time to kill, I was waiting for my room. I ended up putting $50 in the high stakes slots again. I know I told myself I wasn't going to do it, but I did. And I actually lost all my money in 70 seconds. It's tough seeing 50 bucks go in 70 seconds, especially in a slot. Of course, you can see it go quickly in roulette or blackjack or craps, but in a slot, losing 50 bucks in 70 seconds, that was hurtful. I haven't had any luck on high stakes slots yet. I think I should be putting in $100 more than 50. I think that would double my chances to win, but also that would certainly double my losses. So the jury's still out on that. We'll try again on the next hotel. Okay, so it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm feeling great about that. Anytime you're up before noon in Vegas, that is a large victory. Not a small victory, a large victory. The entire day is in front of me. I'm gonna go check out the pool. Now, it's 60 degrees right now in Vegas, which is abnormally cold for this time of year, but the pool is open, and I think that's actually gonna be a positive, because what I'm gonna do is just walk around and get some unobstructed shots of the pool. It's difficult and somewhat kind of awkward to take shots of the pool when it's completely filled. So I'm gonna get out there real early this morning, take some shots of the pool. I hope you enjoy those. And I'll definitely be going back tomorrow because it's gonna be about 15 degrees warmer, and I'll get more of the pool experience. I'm certainly gonna hit the gym either before or after, and then I'll check in later at some point. I'm pretty confident I'm going to Koi. I love that name, and I hope I love the restaurant just as much. Okay, it's dinner time, and before I talk about where I'm going to go, I want to show you the pool. I went out there today. It was a little cold. It warmed up in the afternoon, but it's still too cold to kind of marinate out there, so I'm going to be back tomorrow. I did get some epic shots of the pool, and nobody was out there, so they were unobstructed, and they turned out great. There are two pools. That's the north one. That's the south one. That's more of the family one, and that is more of the 21 plus one. I mean, not more of, that is 21 plus. There's a bar there, just a bit more upscale and a bit more adult. So whether you come here with a family or if you're coming here with some adults, they have a pool for either, and I like how they're separated. There is a common area in the middle, and like I said, there's a bar as well. It's just a really great place to be. I'm looking forward to spending more time out there tomorrow when there are people out there, so I can get a gauge for the crowd and the atmosphere and things like that. I did go to the gym as well. It wasn't the best, wasn't the worst, wasn't the smallest, wasn't the largest. Nobody was in there, which is great, and this is a really busy weekend, so that was cool. It's just sufficient, enough to get a great workout in. Okay, I am famished, and it's time for dinner. I got my eye on Koi. It's a Japanese place, and I looked at the menu. I don't want to have a pretense or too many preconceived notions, but it does look a little small, but I'm hoping that it's abbreviated because they only have the best dishes on there. That's the optimistic mentality I'm going in with. The place sounds really cool, looks really cool, and I'm looking forward to checking it out. I love my Japanese cuisine. Depending on how I'm feeling afterwards, I want to get a drink somewhere cool. I'm thinking Heart Bar, but I might save that for the third night. We will see. All right, good morning. Actually, I'm going to say good morning and good afternoon because it's about the tick of noon. I'm about to head down to the pool area. The weather is much improved today. There's a great crowd out there already. I'm thirsty. I'm hungry. I did not get a chance to experience the pool yesterday because of the weather, so I'm really looking forward to learning about the atmosphere and the energy and partaking in some fun. So looking forward to that. Before I do that, I want to talk about this morning. I've been up for a while, but before I talk about the morning, I want to tell you about last night. I did not get a chance to go to Koi. Koi was closed. The hours that were posted on their website were not their actual hours, and it's not going to be open until tomorrow. Now, the problem with that is that I'm checking out tomorrow. But the saving grace is that I'm transitioning over to Cromwell tomorrow, and Cromwell is another Caesars property. It's next door, and they really only have one restaurant. So while I'm at Cromwell, I'm going to saunter back over here and eat at Koi. If you're looking for that experience, more insight, and more details on the restaurant, check out my Cromwell video. So Strip House was closed, Koi was closed, P.F. Chang's was closed. There wasn't much of an option to go to, so I went to YOLO. It was a Mexican joint. It was average. I feel like I've been using the word average to describe a lot of the food and drink here at Planet Hollywood, but that's what it's been thus far. I'm still looking for that standout dining experience. I'm hoping I'm going to get it tonight at Strip House. We will see. After YOLO, I went over to Heart Bar. I have very fond memories of Heart Bar. It's one of the best places to watch the Super Bowl. They throw a magnificent Super Bowl party. I haven't been to Heart Bar outside of the Super Bowl party, and it was a little lackluster. It just wasn't the same. It was a really chill and cool place to get a drink. It's open 24/7. It really reminded me of Vesper Bar over at Cosmo, although it wasn't as grand and wasn't as cool. This morning I was up and at 'em, feeling great, right to it. I worked out. I got my Voss and I got my GFB, my gluten-free bites. These are the dark chocolate and coconut. I love these things. I was gonna go to Starbucks, but the line was literally out the door. I'm talking about the Planet Hollywood door. And when it's that long, I just can't do it. I feel like a sheep and feel like a slave. So I was off Starbucks, but that was something I did want to do. So that's it. I do need to do a room update. Thus far, I'm loving the bed, loving the bathroom. I have noticed a few quirks around the property that I certainly want to share with you, but I'm going to do that later because right now I'm off to the pool. All right, it's my last night here, and I really need this night to work out. This trip, this hotel stay has not gone as expected. The jury is still out. I'm being objective. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow morning to give my final assessment, but tonight could be its saving grace. I'll talk more about what kind of went wrong tomorrow when I check out, but I'm off to Strip House tonight, and I got on my favorite jacket. I'm looking Westminster show ready. I'm hoping it's going to be as amazing as it looks. It looks really cool and dark and trendy and sophisticated. All the keywords that drive me to a restaurant. But before I get to Strip House, I want to talk about my pool experience today, and this is one of the reasons the trip has not gone as expected. I really wish I would have hung out by the pool yesterday, even though that wasn't plausible because it was like 69 degrees, which is extremely cold for Vegas, and there were blustering winds. So it would not have been enjoyable, but I really wish I would have because today one of the pools was closed, which means they migrated everybody to the other one. So many kids, so loud, not enjoyable. If I get splashed on one more time, or if I hear Marco Polo one more time, I'm going to freak out. It just wasn't enjoyable. It didn't go as expected. Sometimes that's how travel goes, but this hotel stay has kind of been like that. Today was just a microcosm, and again, I'll talk more about that tomorrow. But we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it positive. I'm going to Strip House right now. I'm really excited. I'm hoping that the hype is real. All right, wow, good morning. This is gonna be a bit of a struggle, so just bear with me, cut me a little slack. I had a pretty epic night last night. I need to talk about that. I need to talk about this morning, this room, and also this property in totality. So last night I went to Strip Steak, and it had an opportunity to bring some redemption to the trip. This trip wasn't going very well, and it had an opportunity to be a silver lining, and it was. It really was. It was marvelous. I'd say it's phenomenal. It was luxurious, it was high-end, elite, just ultra sophisticated, really classy, just totally upscale. In fact, it was almost out of place for Planet Hollywood. It was almost too classy for this property. I feel like it belonged at Caesars, Bellagio, Wynn, Palazzo, even Cosmo, but it is here at Planet Hollywood. So the good news is, if you're on site looking for that ultra elite dining experience, you're gonna find it here at Strip House. My favorite drink by far was the gin fizz. That thing was so good. If you go there, you have to order it. I also enjoyed their signature martini, which came with blue cheese stuffed olives. Those are my favorite. Every dish was good. I just ordered 4 small dishes for some diversity. I'd say the standout was the colossal crab cocktail and also the thick cut bacon. The chef made it bespoke for me. He made a special flavor just for yours truly. On the menu, it was red barbecue sauce, like an Asian barbecue sauce, but he brought up maple glazed, and that was so good. So after dinner, I went over to Cosmopolitan. I hung out at Click Bar. I've been hanging out over there quite a bit. I befriended the staff over my many Vegas trips, and they are really cool. It's an easy stroll over the Cosmo, and that's one of the reasons I love this property. This morning, I went to Starbucks for my ritualistic decaf skinny vanilla latte. I also got a couple egg bites. There are 2 locations here on site. One is in the lobby, and then one is in the casino. I recommend going to the casino one on the 2nd floor because that one is a bit more hidden, a bit more obscure, and that means that the lines are much smaller. Okay, let's talk about the room very quickly. I love the bed, love the bathroom, especially love the bathtub. A couple drawbacks is that I thought the room was a little sterile and a little clinical, not from a health perspective, but from a decor perspective. There is some cool artwork behind me above the bed, but I feel that could have been replicated across the room. I just am not feeling the Art Deco Hollywood hip theme that is so prevalent everywhere else in this hotel. And there is one negative about this ultra positive, the ultra positive being the view. I talked about this view being quite legendary, and it is. You have a view of the Bellagio fountain, you have eagle-eyed access into both pools, so you can check out the crowd, check out the weather, check out the sun, and also you can see what's going on over at Marquee Day Club across the street over at Cosmo. Here's the drawback. It's a really noisy room location. Like a lot of Vegas properties, the music is blasting at the pool from 9:30 to 5:30, and that music reverberates up the hotel facade. So that means if you have one of these pool-facing, strip-facing rooms, you're gonna hear that music in your room really noticeably all day. So if you're looking to get some work done, or if you want some peace and quiet, or if you even want to try to get some shut-eye, that's going to be really difficult in this type of room location. All right, so to talk about the property in general, there are really 3 standouts: location, energy, and value. Location, it is right across from the Cosmo, which means it's in walking distance to the city center, literally right across from the Bellagio, walking distance to Caesars. It's just one of the best Vegas locations I think you can get on the Strip. Energy, atmosphere, ambiance, I kind of use all those interchangeably, and there's a ton of it here. This place is Hollywood hip. It is ultra cool. It's one of the coolest vibes you can get here on the Strip. The casino had a great feel and energy. The pool had a great feel and energy. I felt really comfortable during my stay here. Lastly, value. I talked about it a lot in this video, but I just do want to punctuate it. It's a tremendous amount of value. For what you get over what you pay, I don't know if you can get much better on the Vegas Strip. This property is going to appeal to a younger crowd. It's a very, very young crowd here. And also I see a lot of young families. So if you are one of those young cool couples or young cool families that want to bring your kids or have to bring your kids along with you, you're gonna fit in really well here at Planet Hollywood. So I was really ambivalent on how to rate this hotel because my experience wasn't the best, and that's because a lot of things were closed. Strip House was closed for the majority of my trip. Koi was closed the entire trip. P.F. Chang's was closed the entire trip. One of the pools was closed. Just a lot of stuff was closed. However, if you were to come here in 4 or 5 months and everything was running full swing and all pistons were firing, I think you could have a really remarkable trip. So stepping outside my short-term experience and thinking if I were to come back in 4 or 5 months, that's how I'm gonna rate this hotel. I'm gonna say right now it's a 2. I am satisfied. I could have gone as low as a 1. In fact, my experience was a 1. But looking at the future and projecting what this experience could have been, I'm gonna give it a 2. Now, I could have rated this as high as a 4. I think if I were to come back and everything was open, I would easily rate this a 4, which is one of my higher ratings. But because I have to live in actuality, at least a little bit of it, I'm gonna give it a 2. I'm satisfied. I'm gonna have to come back when everything is full swing so I can really get a good barometer of what this property is like.